Beneath the dust of centuries, buried in the pages of Scripture, lies a story of unimaginable wealth and a legendary queen. What if this story, whispered through millennia, is not a myth, but a map to one of history's greatest lost fortunes? Welcome to Echoes of Time, your portal to the forgotten pages of history. For ages, the legend of the Queen of Sheba has shimmered like a desert mirage, an alluring tale of power, wisdom, and riches beyond comprehension. It's a story that has fueled the dreams of adventurers and the debates of scholars. But what if the treasure was real? What if, deep in the heart of Africa, a biblical fortune is still waiting to be unearthed? Today, we journey back in time, tracing the faint outlines of ancient trade routes and the shadows of forgotten empires. We are in search of the truth behind the Queen of Sheba's lost riches and Africa's enduring biblical gold mystery. Our story begins with one of the most famous encounters in the ancient world, an account immortalized in the Bible. A mysterious and powerful queen, ruling a distant, sun-scorched kingdom, hears tales of a king in Jerusalem whose wisdom is said to be a gift from God himself. Intrigued, she embarks on a monumental journey to test this king, Solomon, with hard questions. But she does not come empty-handed. The biblical texts describe a scene of staggering opulence. A great caravan, a river of camels and servants, flows across the desert, laden with treasures that would define her legacy forever. Gold, in quantities so vast it was said to be as common as stone in Solomon's Jerusalem. Exotic spices, their fragrance filling the air, a commodity more valuable than gold in the ancient world. And precious stones, gems that captured the light of the desert sun. The queen's arrival was not just a diplomatic visit. It was a display of power and wealth that left King Solomon and his entire court in awe. She communed with the king, sharing her wisdom and marveling at his. And then, having seen all that she came for, she departed, leaving behind a portion of her fortune as a gift. This single event, this grand exchange of wisdom and wealth, etched the Queen of Sheba into history. Yet it left us with a profound and tantalizing question that has echoed through the ages. From where did this extraordinary queen and her unimaginable riches originate? The Bible tells us of her splendor, but it is silent on the location of her kingdom. For centuries, scholars have pursued this question, searching for the geographical heart of Sheba's power. The debate has largely centered on two primary locations, two ancient lands separated by the Red Sea, but united by a shared history. The first is in modern-day Yemen, on the southern tip of the Arabian Peninsula. Ancient inscriptions and archaeological remains point to a powerful kingdom here, one that controlled the lucrative incense trade routes. It was a civilization of great sophistication, a plausible candidate for Sheba's dominion. Yet an equally compelling and perhaps more resonant claim comes from across the water, from the highlands of Africa. The nation of Ethiopia holds a deep and sacred connection to the queen, whom they call Makeda. This claim is not merely based on folklore, but is chronicled in their sacred national epic, the Kebra Nagast, or the Glory of Kings. This ancient text, a cornerstone of Ethiopian identity, does not just place the queen in their land, it weaves her directly into the fabric of their nation's founding. The Kebra Nagast tells a richer story of her journey to Jerusalem, one that culminates in a son born to her and King Solomon, a son named Menelik, who would become the first emperor of Ethiopia and the founder of the Solomonic dynasty. According to this tradition, Menelik later returned to Jerusalem and, with God's blessing, brought the Ark of the Covenant back with him to Ethiopia, where many believe it rests to this day. This powerful narrative tradition solidifies Ethiopia's claim as the heart of Sheba's empire. It transforms the story from a simple historical query into a matter of profound cultural and spiritual lineage. If this is true, then the source of her legendary gold must lie somewhere within these ancient African lands. And so, the search has continued on the ground.
Archaeological expeditions have tirelessly combed the rugged highlands of Aksum, the seat of a later powerful Ethiopian empire, and the broader Horn of Africa. They seek the material evidence to corroborate the ancient texts, sifting through the red earth for any sign of her kingdom, a palace, an inscription, a trace of the vast wealth she commanded. What they have found are tantalizing clues. Whispers from the past that hint at the existence of vast, sophisticated gold-producing networks in antiquity. Evidence of a society capable of mining and processing gold on a scale that could indeed astound a king like Solomon. But the mystery of Sheba's wealth is entangled with another, equally cryptic biblical puzzle: the location of Ophir. The scriptures speak of Ophir as a legendary source of gold, a place of almost mythical abundance, and it is often linked to the riches of both Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. If we could find Ophir, we might just find the source of her power. Yet, the precise location of Ophir remains one of history's most hotly contested secrets, its name appearing on ancient maps like a ghost, with no fixed point. The search for Ophir has pushed the boundaries of our investigation far beyond Ethiopia and Yemen, opening up a world of fascinating and conflicting possibilities.
One of the most compelling theories leads us far south to the rich gold fields of southern Africa. Here, near the magnificent stone ruins of Great Zimbabwe, archaeologists have uncovered evidence of advanced mining operations that date back centuries. The sheer scale of these ancient mines and the sophistication of the civilization that built the enigmatic city of Great Zimbabwe suggest a society capable of producing gold in biblical quantities. Could this have been Ophir? Could the Queen of Sheba's caravan have sourced its treasure from these deep, rich veins of African gold, transported north along ancient trade routes that crisscross the continent? It presents a powerful image, a pan-African network of commerce and power, with Sheba's kingdom at its nexus. But other scholars look in different directions, their theories stretching the map of the ancient world even further. Some argue that Ophir was located closer to the known world of the Bible, perhaps on the Arabian Peninsula, its identity simply lost to the shifting sands of time. Others propose a more radical idea, suggesting that Ophir lay as far away as India. This hypothesis, though controversial, points towards the existence of a truly global trade network, a complex web of maritime and overland routes connecting Africa, the Middle East, and Asia long before the timelines recorded in conventional history books. Each of these hypotheses presents compelling, yet often conflicting evidence, leaving a fascinating puzzle for us to unravel. This brings us to a fundamental question about the nature of Sheba's kingdom. Was her immense wealth a product of sophisticated local mining, her power rooted deep within the gold-rich soil of Africa? Or was her kingdom a central hub in a sprawling, ancient global trade empire? Was she a queen of miners or a queen of merchants, her genius lying in her ability to command the flow of wealth from distant, unseen lands? Perhaps she was both. Perhaps her kingdom was not just a source, but a conduit, a place where the gold of Africa met the spices of Arabia and the gems of India, a cosmopolitan center of commerce whose strategic location gave its ruler unprecedented influence and riches. As we sift through the layers of historical documents, archaeological findings, and enduring cultural legends, the image of the Queen of Sheba becomes both clearer and more complex. She was a figure of immense power, a diplomat, a leader, and a master of wealth. The quest for her lost riches is therefore more than a simple treasure hunt for gold and jewels. It is an exploration into the profound connections between biblical narratives and the great, often overlooked ancient civilizations of Africa. It's a journey into a past where history and legend intertwine so tightly that they become one.
The allure of her untold wealth has persisted for a reason. It represents not just material fortune, but a lost world of knowledge, power, and interconnectedness. The mystery remains unsolved. The mines that produced her gold have never been definitively identified. The vaults that held her treasures have never been found. The ghost of her caravan still travels across the landscape of our imagination, laden with questions. Could Africa, a continent of incredible history and ancient legacies, truly hold the key to unlocking one of history's greatest biblical enigmas? The echoes of her story continue to challenge us, reminding us that there are still secrets lying under the dust of centuries, stories that have not yet been fully told. Is the Queen of Sheba's treasure a tangible fortune still buried somewhere beneath the rock and sand? Or is her true legacy the enduring mystery itself, a testament to an African queen whose greatness continues to captivate the world?